Okay, so welcome to the box of potatoes from last year. I'm going to start planting some potatoes soon, but first I'm actually going to do something that I haven't done in previous years, and that's cut them in half, because here's one that's a good example. I've actually purposefully kept a few that I planted last year and I've just let them start sprouting. Now some of them, of course, they have several sprouts. If they've got one sprout, you want to plant them with the sprout side upwards, but what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to cut them in half so that I've got, I might cut that one like across there, so I've got a couple of sprouts on each half, and in doing that you get more potatoes. So I'm just going to, like that one, I'll slice it in half like that, so I've got a couple of potential little sprouts on each side. I don't want to cut them too small. Apparently it's quite good for them to keep quite a bit of potato with them. One other thing I've heard is good for them, wood ash. This is from our fireplace. Dip that part in wood ash. Apparently that's got lots of potassium. Last time I actually did try planting them out in our orchard paddock. I made a mistake. I chopped them because I thought it'd be a good idea. I didn't let them dry. I put them straight in the ground, and most of them just rotted. It just didn't work, and it sort of put me off doing it again. But I've recently found out you have to leave them to dry. So I'm actually going to put these in our wood shed because our wood stores are depleting. We haven't got much wood left in there, but we've got plenty of room. So I'm going to just lay these out on a tarpaulin or something. You let them dry out for between 3 to 5 days until this starts to go kind of, well, it goes very dry and leathery. So there we go, got a nice little collection of spuds in there that I'll just lay out on the woodshed floor to be drying. Okay, so it's been about a week. The weather has been pretty bad here. We actually had a bit of a snow warning at one point. Hence why I'm glad I hadn't really planted anything with a vengeance. But I'm going to plant out my potatoes today. It's looking like the weather's going to be a bit iffy the rest of the week, but we're just talking rain, not snow. Silly for this time of year. But yeah, those have actually gone quite nice and sort of leathery, I guess you'd say. Got my lovely little sprouts on the top there. So I'm going to do what I did last year. I'm going to sort of plant them a bit closer together than I have done previous years, but it still worked good last year, so I'm hoping I'll just get enough to again see us right for most of the year. So I'm going to plant these potatoes out, and then I'll show you the rest of my plan. So as per last time, you get your potato, plant it sprout side facing upwards, and you want to bury it and you want to mound it. As soon as you see the sprouts coming up out of the ground, you want to bury them again. You actually get more potatoes if you keep mounding it up and keep burying them. Now, in case you're wondering, someone was asking me about the soil we use, because the soil we actually have on our land is terrible. It is so stony. We've tried getting soil from our land and sifting it and trying to get all the stones out, but we still end up, you might see in some shots, we've still got tiny little stones. So we actually just went to a local landscaping place, a landscape supply place. It was $20 for a scoop, so we got about 3 scoops. So we had to spend a bit of money bulking the soil up again. So, you know, hopefully that'll be worth it. Oh, and in case you're wondering, when you see me shoveling the stuff, I'm mounding it up. That's no different to what's already on here. We just had some more on the trailer, so as opposed to scooping it up and mounding it, I'm just shoveling some more off the trailer that we still had to put in the veggie patch. So yeah, that's all that is. Got my potatoes planted in rows there, and I've put a few more rows in this veggie patch. Got my leeks going on here. Over here I need to have a big weed of this area, but I'm not going to plant in there yet because I'm going to save that for some pumpkins and cucumbers. I know they tend to spread out quite a lot, so I'm going to look at putting them in there. I've got my brassicas going along here. They're looking good. Look, got a couple of broccolis growing. That's pretty cool. I've got a couple of wee lettuces, but they're sort of coming to the end of doing anything, so I might chuck something else in there. Sort of coming towards the end of my bok choy there. As you can see, it's all going to flower, but I've still been using it. Got a little bit of silver beet there, another bok choy thing, a few amongst the weeds. I've got some spinach. Got my garlic. My garlic is growing nicely. I've got a couple of rows of garlic, again amongst the weeds. Yeah, I'll get onto them. And some more leeks there next to where I've put the spuds. Also, you'll have seen I transferred the plants I had in the toilet roll holders into pots, and I've put them in my deli counter greenhouse. So they're actually doing really well. So I've got a few cucumbers, I've got some spinach, and I've got some tomatoes that I've got on the go in there. And also I've got what I think I thought was a tomato. I did think was a tomato. I think I've actually been nurturing a weed. So but hey, so that's actually come in so handy for that. It saved me from having them all on the kitchen windowsill. So it's been great having them in there. Hopefully they'll do good. I won't transplant them just yet though. I'm going to use this area here. I've just been giving it a bit of a rake and pulling out some of the random weeds. I'm going to plant a couple of rows of radishes and a couple of rows of carrots. Just mark it out like that. They don't need much room. So I tend to get carrots that are like all season, the kind of things that apparently grow all year round, although I've never had luck planting them over winter. You might have seen in my previous videos I tried planting radishes over winter, hoping that it would work, but nah. not where we are in North Canterbury. We're a little bit high up as well, so no, planting during winter just doesn't work for me. So even all season carrots, you know, I wait till the worst of the frosts are over and just sprinkle them. I don't really bother spacing them too much. I just sort of, you know, as they're growing you can always just thin them out and use the little ones, let some of the others grow bigger. The radishes I don't worry too much about spacing. I just try and put them about a couple of centimetres apart. Just in this little space here in between my leek and my garlic, got a little space here, so I'm just going to plant a row of lettuce. And just over here in between the couple of lettuces that I've still got growing, I'm just going to make use of some of this space in between. I've just got some spring onions to plant. As I have mentioned in previous gardening videos, I am not a professional gardener, not by any stretch. The reason I'm doing these is to hopefully just, me and my grubby fingers, inspire a few people to just give this a crack, because I'm not somebody who ever really had green fingers, green thumbs, anything like that. I just throw seeds in the garden and see what happens and try and keep on top of the weeding. Doing these videos has helped to motivate me to actually keep going, and also Gretel here, she helps out. But so yeah, I'm hoping to inspire people. And one thing you might notice about me in the videos is that I don't tend to wear gardening gloves. I know a lot of people do. I don't. I just wash my hands thoroughly afterwards. My reason is that I find it therapeutic, especially if I've been stuck indoors for a few days. For those of you who, I know there's a lot of people at the moment who they are getting emotional, you're getting upset about finances, that sort of thing. I guess doing something like this makes you feel as though you're doing something about it. You're helping yourself out, you're getting in there, you're doing things. It can be, you know, a good thing mentally to get into, as well as the financial and emotional gains of knowing you've grown your own produce. So there we go. I just hope it's motivating in one way or another. But yeah, hit the like button, leave me a comment down below, let me know what you're planting this time of year, depending on what area of the world you're in, and I'll keep you posted.